Hello everyone, I'm Sankalp Dayal, a final student of computer science, and today here we are going to share the complete interview experience for the company that is City. And today we have Anushka with us, so she'll be sharing all the details and all the interview experiences that she had. So if we start this video, we'll start with a brief introduction. So Anushka, can you introduce yourself?
Hi Sankalp and hi everyone. So, first of all, thank you for inviting me for the video. I'm Anushka Dwivedi. I'm basically from Delhi, and right now I'm pursuing my final year in BTech Computer Science from VIT Vellore. Last month I got placed at Citibank as a full-time employee. So, in this video, I'll be explaining about my interview experience with them.
Okay. So if we start with the process, so first one is that we apply for this company. So can you share some number like how many people applied for this company and how many were selected for this?
Okay, so starting from the online test, actually the eligibility criteria that City had set was like 6 CGPA in 10th or 60% in 10th, 60% in 12th, and 6 CGPA in BTech. So that was the criteria that they had set. And they also mentioned that all the branches in our college were eligible to apply. So actually, this was the criteria initially. But naturally, as all the branches were eligible, so a lot of students must have applied. So again, then I believe they did some internal shortlisting again on the
Okay.
basis of CGPA. So finally, a final shortlisted list was generated, like the people who could actually take the test. So around 560 to 565 students were finally selected for taking the test. So like the number of applications we can see were like 565. So
Okay.
after the online test, like we had a technical round and then we had an HR round. So finally, for the selection, they gave full time offers to 16 students from our college.
Okay. Okay. So that's great. And for the CGPA, like what is the role of CGPA in the selection process or in the interviews?
Yeah, so my current CGPA is like 9.27. So I personally believe that it might have given me an added advantage somewhere, like during the initial shortlisting for the test or like shortlisting before the interviews as well. So like what I always try to tell is like just try to keep your CGPA as high as possible, because like many a times what happens is like when companies come to campus, their initial criterias may be low, like their CGPA criteria may be 6 or 7, but due to that a lot of students may apply for the company. So if they have a lot of number of applications, what they generally do is they again shortlist or they again filter the students on the basis of CGPA. So like it's always better if you try to keep your CGPA as high as possible.
Okay. So like basically we have to maintain our CGPA, like a good CGPA is obviously very helpful in the selections.
Yeah.
So now if we move to the coding round, so like how was the coding round? What were the like number of questions and the timings and the difficulty level for them?
Okay, so we had an online test first. So the test was divided into three sections. The first one was a general quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning section. The second one was technical MCQs. So like whatever core subjects that we have studied before, like OS, DBMS, networks, and like OOPS concepts. So the questions related to these topics were asked in the second section, and the third section was a coding test. So there were like two questions in the coding section. One was a medium to hard level difficulty question, and the other one was a relatively easier question. So for
Okay.
me personally, I got like one question which was based on graphs, and the second question was like it was not based on DSA, it was a logic based question. And also the questions were shuffled, so everybody got different set of questions actually. So like so this was the entire pattern for the test. And like for the timing, it was 1.5 hour to 2 hour test. So yeah. And one point that I would like to say that like is time management was very important in the test. Like the actual catch for the test was like even though the aptitude questions like the MCQs were quite easy to medium level difficulty, but the actual catch was like you need to solve a lot of questions correctly in that given amount of time. So time management was very important.
Okay. Yeah, so basically the difficulty level is not very high because it is like generally medium level. But if you are
Yeah.
able to do it in very good speed, then it is like on your side and you can crack the first round. Now, if we move with the next rounds, that is interviews. So like how many interviews you had and can you tell us about the interviews?
Okay, so like from the online test, like out of 565 students, around 80 students were shortlisted for the technical interviews. So both the technical round as well as the HR were conducted on the same day. So like starting from my technical round, so like actually my interview panel had two interviewers. So like the interview started with like just a brief introduction about myself, and then they actually asked me to walk them through my resume. So they already had my resume with them, and they just asked me to like briefly describe my resume to them. So like I had to talk about the projects that I've mentioned, what all technologies did I use, and then I also spoke about my internship experience, and like my internship project, and what concept and what technology did I use there, and like things like that. And like that is the point where the actual interview started. So the next 10 minutes or so, they were completely focused on my internship experience. So like they actually went in depth in my internship project, and like what all modules did I build, and like they also tested me on my knowledge for on that concept. So like they actually went in depth with my internship experience. Next, moving forward, like they directly went towards the coding part. So actually the platform on which my interview was conducted, actually it already had an inbuilt editor. So I could actually type my code and they could see it simultaneously from the other end. So it was just like a code pair round. So actually what happened was like they were mainly focused on DSA part, and for me personally a lot of questions were asked from linked list. So like they started asking some basic questions regarding linked list, and then finally they gave around 3 questions to code. So the first one was an easy question based on linked list, and the other two were medium level difficulty questions, I would say. So like what I actually felt from my interview was like they were mainly they were more focused on like testing how strong my basics were, and like how correct my approach to a problem is. So like the final code was definitely important, but what I felt was like they were more focused on my approach towards a problem. And like actually like my interviewers were actually very friendly and helpful, because like in one of the questions was what happened was I could not figure out an edge case. So actually I was missing an edge case in one of the questions, and they were very friendly, so they gave me appropriate hints, and they also guided me towards that part so that I could solve that question correctly. So like generally that happens, the interviewers are quite friendly, and they like give you hints, and they are like they are helpful in interviews. So yeah, towards the end of the interview, they again asked me some theoretical questions like on our core subjects. And yeah, so that was it for my technical interview. So again, after that, like after the technical round, so out of these 80 students, around 20 were shortlisted for the last HR round. So like starting with HR, again the HR started with my brief introduction, and he also asked about how my journey has been in VIT till now. And then some discussion was done on like my interests, and what my areas of interest are. And like one question that he actually asked me was like why did I want to join a financial company, because like I am from a computer science background, so I could easily get a job in like a core software development company. So like why city? So like that is a question where I believe that I had to actually justify my answer to him. So like questions like these were asked, and apart from that, some other basic HR questions like where do I see myself in 5 years, and some of the questions like those were asked. And like in the end he asked me if I had any questions for him. So like it's always good if you ask a question back, because anything related to the company or any company policy. So I actually asked him about his journey in city, and like something about city, so he was very friendly, he answered back. And yeah, so that is how my HR round went. So this was the entire like the interview process that happened.
Okay. So the main thing that we should focus is like for solving the question, we should also like the interview also focuses on the path from which you like actually solve the question. And the final code is obviously very important. So these things like we should take care while like attending any interviews. Now this was all about the interviews. Now after the interviews, like if we talk about the strategies that you followed for cracking the companies like this, so can you share some information on this?
Okay, so for my preparation, I mainly focused on DSA and coding part, because definitely projects and resume is also important, but they are important from the interview perspective. But to reach the interview, you need to clear that barrier of the online test, and there's a huge amount of competition also. So like if you're not good at coding, or if your basics are not strong, you might not even clear the test to reach the interview, like no matter how strong your resume is. So like DSA was my main focus, and apart from that, I also started revising our core subjects, like all of these OS, networks, DBMS. So I also focused on those subjects. And for coding practice, I mainly focused on two websites, that is Geeks for Geeks and LeetCode, because Geeks for Geeks has a huge amount of questions, and like all possible varieties of questions are available on GFG. So
Yeah.
like what I would do was like I used to filter out the questions based on topics and their difficulty level. So for example, if today I wanted to solve questions related to trees, so I would just sort the questions based on trees, and then again the difficulty levels, like easy, medium, or hard. And similarly, LeetCode has also some amazing questions. So there as well, I used to just filter out questions based on their difficulty levels and like topic wise. And GFG also has company specific questions. So those questions are really good if you want to crack a particular type of company. So yeah, so this was my entire strategy for preparation.
Okay. Yeah. So mainly two websites have been focused here. That is GFG and LeetCode. So if you are like confused with the website that like what you should choose, so you can follow these websites because these are some of the good websites that you can follow for your preparation. Now, if we talk about peer coding, that is like group study. So how you use this thing for your preparation?
uh, Actually, I did not actually go for peer coding. Like peer coding is definitely very helpful, because if you solve a question alone, like you might get only one approach or a logic to solve that question. But if you solve that same question in a group, you might get different approaches or different logics to solve that question. So it definitely helps. But actually, I did not go for peer coding. Instead, what I did was like, before the placement season started, like me and along with some of my friends, we used to conduct mock interviews with each other, like to
Okay.
just to get a feel of how this entire virtual interviews are conducted. So we used to conduct like 1 hour interviews, 1 hour mock interviews with each other along with code pair rounds. So just to get familiar with these types of interviews. So like mock interviews actually helped me. So I actually went for them, and I actually did not go for peer coding. But if you have time and if you have a group of friends like those, you should definitely try peer coding.
Okay. Okay, so basically peer coding is very important, and one more thing that she has focused is mock interviews. If you have like you can also take mock interviews with your friends, so that is really very helpful for your placement, like for your preparation. Now, if we move ahead with next topic, that is clubs and chapters. Like most of the colleges have clubs and chapters, and we can join them. So how it is like helpful for any person in their placements?
So actually, I was part of a club, and I was also part of an NGO for almost 10 years in college. But actually, on a personal level, that point actually did not help me in interviews, because that topic was never discussed. But definitely, if you are into extracurriculars and you have been in some club or chapter, that topic might help you in an HR round or a managerial round, because that topic might come. For me, particularly, it did not like pop up into interviews, but like those things are important, not just for making your resume better, but also for your overall personality development, I would say. So yeah, so if you have interest, or and moreover, if you get an opportunity to get into a club or a chapter that you like, you should definitely go ahead for it. So it might also help you, like it will definitely build your personality, and like together with that, it might help you in interviews as well.
Okay. So basically, it is like an extracurricular that we can participate for and like overall growth. Now, if we like for in the current time, like all the interviews are done virtually. So, what do you feel about this virtual interviews, and what are the like benefits or the demerits that you have found for this virtual interviews as compared to the on-campus interviews?
Yeah, so I personally did not find a lot of difference between like face-to-face interviews like on campus and virtually, maybe because I took some mock interviews before, so maybe I
Okay.
was more familiar with these types of interviews. But definitely, I personally believe that virtual interviews are more comfortable, because you are actually sitting in your room, you are sitting at your home, and you are giving the interview. So you're not in a classroom or somewhere like in your college, you are actually sitting at your home in your comfortable zone and giving the interview. So they are helpful in that way. But one thing in virtual interviews is that you have to be very good at communication skills, like because you're your interviewer can actually just see your face, so your entire body posture or entire body language is not visible to the person. So he's actually going to judge you on the basis of your communication skills. So what I believe is like during the virtual interviews you have to continuously keep on interacting with your interviewer just to keep his interest going, and like you have to represent yourself just through your facial expressions and communication skills. So like if somebody is like next year or next to next year, if somebody is going for virtual interviews, I would say that just try to build your communication skills, because they would be definitely very important and helpful in virtual interviews. And one demerit I would say is like internet connectivity. So like you have to ensure that you have good internet connectivity, because like you don't want your voice to lag somewhere or your face to get stuck during an interview or during you were coding. So like those types of things we have to ensure. And apart from that, I personally believe that virtual interviews are like way better than on campus face to face interviews.
Okay. So, like she has already mentioned some of the good points that you can focus if you are giving virtual interviews in the next year or somewhere in the future. So, if we move ahead, what can we do in the colleges to be more productive and which can help us for our placements or internships in the selection process?
Okay, so if you are in first year, or if you are in second year and you have made up your mind like you want to sit for placements, then definitely I would tell you to start doing competitive programming, because it helps a lot when it comes to placement. So but this is only if you are in first or second year. Now if like when you have a lot of time, if you are in third year and you've not actually done competitive before, I would say don't go for that. Just try to focus more on your data structures, algorithms, and your basic logic building part for the coding. And like as you come towards your sixth semester, start revising your core subjects also, because they're also very important from the interview perspective. Because like the interviewer is definitely going to ask you questions based on those, and at that point of time if you're not able to answer those questions, so it will definitely give a negative impression to the interviewer. Like because being a computer science student, it is expected that you would be strong in these subjects, so just start revising those. And apart from that, as far as like projects are concerned, I would say just try to do 2 or 3 good projects, like, and just try to add them in your resume. And one good internship. So if you have 2 or 3 good projects and one good internship, like half of your work is almost done. So like it will not only create a good impression on the interviewer, but it would also give like a topic to you to discuss in the interviews. So like it will help in a lot of ways. So just by good projects, I meant that you actually do the projects yourself and you know the in and outs of those projects. So just try to do some different types of projects, and 1 or 2 good internships is like that is more than enough.
Okay. Yeah, so the projects that she has mentioned is like if you had like you should do it on your own and you should not take help from internet, or like there are many websites which already provide the codes for all the projects. So that is really not useful if you are trying to mention them in your resume. So if we talk about the resume, we should have some projects and work experience like as much as possible, because it is really helpful for our placements. So how can you suggest how much projects or how much work experience should we have, and like how it is useful, like how much is it is useful?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, like just try to have like 3 or 4 projects on your resume, and like 2 to 3 of them should be good as in completely like what all technologies were used and how did you actually do it, what all challenges did you face while doing those types of projects. So you should know like the complete everything about those projects, whatever you mention on your resume. And along with that, internship is also important. Like it's okay if you don't do an internship, but if you do one, so it will definitely create a good impression on the interviewer, because you've actually like worked in a company before. And apart from that, you will also have a topic to discuss in the interview. Like generally what happens in interviews is like the interviewer is asking you questions and then you are replying back. So if you have some good projects or a good internship on your resume, now like you can start discussing those things in the interview, so the interview might turn into a discussion point. So like not just a question answer round, it might turn into a discussion. That is what actually happened in my technical interview. So like so yeah, so those are the things that actually help when it comes to placements.
Okay, so like it is actually you can deviate whatever they are questioning, and you can like focus on the projects or work experience that you have. So this is really helpful in the interviews. So this was now like if we try to ask some additional tips or some final tips for the students that will sit for the placements either next year or in the future. So what all you will suggest for them?
Okay, so one simple tip would be just never lie on your resume, because like no matter how smart you think you are, the interviewer is always going to outsmart you. So just never lie on your resume. Just mention those things which you are comfortable with answering, and like you know them to the fullest. And one more personal tip that I would give is just don't get disheartened or demotivated if you don't get selected in a company, because a lot of time luck also plays its part. So sometimes it just not might be your day. So like you might be the best candidate for the job, but you still might not get selected that day. So just keep going, keep practicing, like don't lose your confidence, and like in the end eventually it will all be good, and you'll get through. So yeah, that would be one tip that I'd like to give to everybody.
Okay. So this was all about this interview experience. So we have discussed many important topics for this. So I hope you find this video useful, and you can like, comment, share, and subscribe the channel to like continuously watch the videos. And we'll meet in another video. So till then, goodbye.
Bye bye.